Alrighty, hello there folks, and welcome back. This is Ambiguous Influence, continuing the Pillars of Eternity randomized build playthrough. When last we left off, we had just finished the Temple of Aethos in Gilded Vale, and now we're going to go over on our way to Lord Raedric's castle and get to some trouble. Although first, given the health of Aloth, we're actually going to head to the inn.
Good day to you.
Rest on up. And head on out. Raedric's Hold.
This is the home of the man responsible for those hanging corpses. You don't plan on knocking, do you?
Nope. We'll be infiltrating. Now, Colescad told us about the sewer entrance. There's also another entrance over here. Examine the wall, jump to reach the vines, climb up the vines. The climb up the keep wall is long and weary, kind of begins to lag behind fatigued, but in time the top of the wall comes within reach and you're able to pull yourself up and over. Sorry about not reading all those screens there. So let us stealth ourselves. Yeah, got some Raedric guards here. Oh. We are in combat. Come on. And there we go.
I cannot keep up this pace.
Oh, yes you can. Don't worry. Ooh, hidden item. Potion of minor endurance, basically a healing pot. Might as well go over here. Potion of spirit shield and more cash. Yep, use a lockpick.
The work of a moment.
Ooh.
I'll
Here's
give it
another
a try,
lockpick.
at least. As requested.
Yep. Now, it is a bit easier to go in through the sewers, but, you know, I decided why not spice things up a bit. That leads down to the courtyard. I will not be taking that part. I'm going to head up on through here. Yeah, we're going to get in combat here probably.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
But I'd rather get in combat on our terms. You have your staff.
What?
Why are you... come on. There we go. Have you switch targets as well. You two switch targets. And there we go.
All right, then.
Hello. Hello?
And this door does go to temple storage. And these are priest robes. Oh. That we can use to disguise ourselves with.
Hey.
And as you saw, we did get that addendum on Lord of the Barren Lands. I found some Betharian robes. They may help me blend in with the priests on this floor, so
All right, then.
game kind of gives you a bit of a help out there. And since we're blending, we are blending, we are blending. Don't be suspicious. Might as well take the stuff. Hold it, brother! Pardon my interruption. I don't seem to recall seeing you before. Okay. Result. Might as well use this. What? I don't have time to entertain your lack of perception. Off with you. Your curt and assertive reply seems to take the Betharian priest by surprise. I did not mean to offend. Please continue your duties. The priest turns to you hurriedly. Move
Best
away.
have a second tail at the ready. They're a nervous bunch.
Now, since this is gold,
I'll
not
see what I can
red,
do.
we
The
can
work of a moment.
do it without arousing suspicion. Scrawled note. I got your gift. I can't believe someone actually wrote down the kind of thing on parchment. I left something for you in the chapel. Careful not to go digging in the wrong skull again. Interesting. More lore. More money. More lore. Hold, brother! No one is to leave their post until Redrick has ordered. Where are you going? Are you thick? Redrick just ordered us to search the rooms. Kolsk's men may still be in the keep. The pattern blinks at you, taken back. Well then, yes, I'll leave you to it. May Bareth grant your foes a swift passing.
I'll go on ahead.
Scout out. And I think that one might have been highlighted because we found that note. I think you might have.
Well.
Or maybe it's this one. Oh, nope, that's that. Come on, let me touch you. Sweet musky incense is stored in boxes under the altar. That's to dungeon crypts. So yeah, if you went through the sewers and in through the dungeons, you could also come up into here. Okay. Nedamara. This frail old priest is hunched over a table, surrounded by scattered scrolls and parchment, examining their contents with the aid of a thick monocle. He glances up as you approach, blinking, rheumy eyes. More visitors, then. You're not one of the acolytes, or the guards for that matter. His voice is a dry, quiet rasp, which makes you an intruder at the least. Kolsk put you up to this, I suppose? Yes, that would be him, sending young men to dash themselves against the king's keep's defenses. He shakes his head. Would that my sermons could draw such fervor. Still you are here. What is it you want? How did you know I came here on behalf of Kolsk? My eyes may be failing me, but my wits have not. Kolsk has recruited what allies he can, and he has begun to strike against the keep in earnest. It has not been long since his latest effort, as I predicted, and as you can see, the attempt was a disaster. Kolsk is unwilling to grasp certain truths, nor does he understand what it is that keeps Radric in power. He will need much guidance if he means to take Radric's place. I can only hope he would listen. Good thing his predecessor sent low expectations, then. I'm here to face Radric. Will you help me? Nidmer's brow knits together in an expression of mournful regret. I don't know that I can. I've tried to warn Kolsk and his people of the dangers. I have, in truth, tried often to sway them from their path. My efforts do not seem to have made any difference. Playing nice with the fellow that wants to kill you and all your friends. Can't imagine why they wouldn't listen to sound advice like that. Even poor Gyako. I thought he at least might be saved, but he's Osra's now, fodder for her experiments. He bows his head, setting his trembling hands upon the table for support. I have narrowly escaped suspicion. Radric is in the grip of grief, and will not be swayed. He will bring his wrath upon those poor prisoners. And I cannot shoulder that guilt. I cannot bear it. Tell me about Gyako, one of my acolytes. Nedmar's expression crumbles with grief. I found him begging the street when he was but a young lad. I took him in. I hoped he might grow within the church, take my place when I grew too old to serve Lord Radric. But he took an interest in Kolsk's efforts, his vain rebellion. I could not keep him from leaving. And now he has joined Kolsk against our lord and lingers in dungeons. I fear he may already have fallen victims to Osra's evil designs. I mentioned Osra's experiments. Osra, a bright young woman, corrupted by the teachings of the Animancers. She has filled Lord Radric's head with blasphemous notions and false hope, preying upon his desire to guide his people. And he has been foolish enough to listen. Radric has given Osra leave to conduct what experiments she will. Now the lowest reaches the keep are fouled with the smell of rot. Who knows what souls dwell, lamenting in that darkness? Animancers. His lips twist into a frown. Why am I not surprised they're involved in this nonsense? I begged Lord Radric forgiveness on my acolyte's behalf, but I think I have only delayed Gyako's fate. He is at Osra's mercy now. If I save Gyako, will you help me reach Radric? I could give you the means to enter Radric's chapel below. That would put you beside his throne room. But I cannot risk it while Gyako is in danger. If you can see him safely out of Osra's reach, I promise you I will do my best to help you. Oh, and this will do some more good than a disguise. We have a passphrase. It is, from every ending a beginning. Say that and the guards here will leave you be. On this floor alone, I'm afraid. Radric's sellswords have little patience for such things. And let's make a roll here. Ooh, 1. I will see Gyako to safety and then return. Be cautious. Osra wields powerful sorceries, and she has a fondness for cruel traps. I don't doubt she will be terrible full of angered. Gods guide you. Alrighty, so now that we have a little help inside the keep, we are going to go down into the dungeons. Going to go into scouting mode, just in case there's some traps. Ghouls and revenants. And once we get out of this combat, I will be switching back into our actual armor. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. Let's see if... What does it do? Leaving them dazed. Okay, they are not immune to daze. Good.
How may I help?
Come on, I want you to move. Switch over to your Estoc. Start stabbing. Holy hell, Adair. Okay. I want you to move here. Sojourns can get in. This is Aura of Radiance. Have you... About it? Aloth, have you do an arcane assault for good measure. Have you continue Solingen. Okay, have you guys target him. Y'all target him. Alrighty, that should wrap up combat.
I think it may be time to strike up camp.
Of course.
Let's get back into our armor. Such as it is. That's 10 with 50, that's 10 with 40. Well, yeah, I'll give him the fine padded, why not?
Hey,
Nothing will slip past me.
Haha, trap.
the work of a moment.
Gouge marks and scratches line the edge of the lid.
As requested.
The bite marks on these bones appear to be from the proper size for folk in elven teeth. Head over into this chamber. Make a quick save, just in case. Okay, and these are just tombstones. Nope. And in one universe, I will learn. Yeah, and this is around where you would enter the dungeons
I'll give it a try, at least. As requested.
if you came in through the grate. Head down here. Yeah, this is where you would come up. Yep, to Moat. Another Revenant. There we go. Actually, do want to switch kind of back over to his rifle.
I cannot keep up this pace.
It's not a rifle, it's a musket.
If thou feelest thee.
And let the Revenant get just a bit closer before Durance fires off his AoE.
This fight is mine!
And take him down.
Of course.
Alrighty. Slip
Keeping an
back
eye
into
out.
scouting mode. And continue on our merry way. Yep, something's here. Oh, yay. Ooze. I'm actually going to use one of my corrosive. Or I would if I could reach it. Aloth, please
How
move.
may I help?
Thank you.
Ready when you are.
Alrighty.
All right then.
Light, flame, and sound.
I'll see what I can do.
Use a lockpick.
The work of a moment.
Drop out. Back. Let him come to us. There we go.
Let's see what lies this way.
Supplies and
I
food.
see something.
A trap.
Just say the word.
Okay.
Hey.
So since Durance typically has the ash of the most health, I'll have him trigger it.
I fear we've lost the angry one. Hey.
Ooh, stealthy. +2 to stealth. That's actually fairly useful. Let's see who actually has good stealth to begin with. He's got 2, 3, 2, 2, and 3. I'll give it to the main character, why not? Howdy there, I see we have a viewer entering the chat. Welcome back to the Pillars of Eternity
I shall be quiet as a calm sea.
randomized build
Which is
playthrough.
Not very quiet.
We are currently traipsing through the dungeons of Raedric's Hold, looking for the
Would you
apprentice.
look at that?
Ha, trap. The apprentice of a priest
As
here,
requested.
who will give us help getting to Raedric
Not getting.
without going through his army, so they can help Kolskin dethroning him,
You should have run.
possibly.
I cannot keep up this pace.
We began by trap. We began by scaling up a battlement that kind of wasn't quite ready to.
Hello.
Wasn't quite athletic
Hello?
enough to come up, so it suckered him a bit out, the poor guy. Okay, we're going to retreat a bit. Let them come to us. Oh god. There we go. I'm going to have aggressive bolt go.
That's how it's done.
Okay, we got one down. Have Aeloth use one of his arcane barrages. Yeah, just a flat 9 damage reduction on the ooze, no particular vulnerabilities.
Laying low.
Like Audra. Okay, so this is just kind of a little dead end. Let's head on over here. But how's everyone doing tonight?
I think I see something.
Ha!
Ready when you are.
Do you have enough to disarm the trap? Yeah, I think his for yeah.
Hey.
Well, we'll just avoid it then.
What's this?
Okay, let's hit this Revenant. Have you switch on over to your S-Talk. Have you come on up, you coming up.
Hey.
Following
Switching
your
back
lead.
to the gun. Arquebus.
Hey.
Get me out of this cell, please.
I can do
Okay.
that. As requested.
So we can get Gyako there out of the cell. That would cost us 3 lockpicks. I mean, we got plenty. You never really risk running out, to be fair. But, you know, I want to explore a bit. Oh, Doris, this is a fantastic time to use your Holy Radiance. Let's have Eloth use Web.
Ready?
Durance, use your self-heal. Have Aeloth use his magic missiles.
Fight is mine!
And Durance is down. I'm heartbroken.
Leave it to me! That's how it's done!
Yeah, Durance's starting armor is really just
We'll fare better
a
if we
thin,
get some sleep.
thin-ass robe. I mean, it gives him +2 Constitution, which ain't bad, but the DR of it itself is just shite.
Hey,
But he got field triage, so we can get him some more health.
Laying low.
Oh, what a wonderful experiment chamber. Blood and flecks of dried flesh encrust on the restraints. The tank is warm to the touch. The glass vibrates with the bubbling fluid inside. House Darmel, more lore books. Potion of Eldritch Aim. Which is basically just True Strike. And here's Ozra. A woman, caught mid-step across the room, turns her head to face you. Long curls of black hair frame her face, one side of which is flecked with some green liquid. The gaze she sets upon you holds an eerie intensity. More interruptions. The woman sets down the book she holds, smiling faintly. What an interesting time we've been having of late, so many uninvited guests. I suppose I have you to thank for all the damage to my work? It took time to get these people back on their feet, you know. What is it you are doing here? Okay. So, this is a kind of a branch where we can either support her or Nidmar, which is the priest. And either of them will get us to Vaedric. So, I'm going to make a roll. Evens will, high will be supporting Nidmar, low will be supporting her. That is a 7 on a d8, so that is high. So, now, let's go on and consider this. Make a d5. 2. I've come to see Lord Vaedric. Aren't we the bold one? You must be another of Kolsk's little rebels. Does he recruit you all out of the Black Hound? Mostly, yes. Ply you with a drink? Ask you to ignore the consequences of your actions. No matter, what concerns me is the curse upon Gilded Vale's people. I am on the cusp of a great discovery, and it is not Kolsk who undermines me. You might have chosen powerful allies. Well, we might as well get some info from here. What caused Widewind's legacy? It isn't the superstitions of a senile old man, I can tell you that. The legacy is an affliction of the soul, and I have dedicated my life alongside my peers to understanding the fabric of the soul, the essence of life. With any luck, she'll hang on the tree alongside her peers, too. Aeloth's voice is cold. I consider myself the foremost student of Pandrag's famed theorems. It wasn't by chance that I was called here to assist in determining the true cause of this blight. This curse is not a parting gift from the scattered god, nor a punishment for petty sins. It must be a localized effect, something which strips the soul from a body as the Beowicks are known to do. Don't tell my town that. They might get real embarrassed about trying to have me hanged. I have detected, even so, lingering traces of essence upon the bodies of so-called Hollowborn. This suggests that the soul itself has not been wholly destroyed. It remains, I think, intact somewhere. And so it can be retrieved, sutured, if you will, back into the mortal flesh. Why haven't you been able to find a cure yet? Oswina's expression goes cold. It's that fool priest Nedmar, the Betharian. That old man has woven a tidy little tapestry of lies and fables. Lord Redrick is a pious man, and Nedmar holds power over him, especially now, after this business with Ygritte, as if that Hollowborn child was my doing. In any case, my efforts are increasingly hobbled by ignorance. I think you'd have more luck countering those superstitions if your methods weren't so grim. Kana eyes one of the undead warily. The priest has first focused Lord Redrick's attentions upon the ruins of the Scattered Gods' temple. If it is consecrated anew, rededicated to Berith, then the curse will be lifted. Elsra rolls her eyes. Redrick believes him, of course. In any case, he has supplied a vast amount of gold towards the effort. You will note that I am bereft of such generous support. She gestures to her lab with a sweep of her arm. I am left to scourge for answers in these dismal conditions. Could I help somehow? An interesting proposal. I certainly can't leave you threatening Lord Redrick's life. How would I continue my research if you were gone? Still, perhaps we need not be enemies. If your true purpose is indeed, as Kos claims, to help Gilded Vale, then we have one mind, and we may well be of use to me. Now, I can ask her what she wants to do, just for info. We're still going to be ultimately siding with Nedmar. What do you want me to do? I want you to deal with the High Priest, of course. With him gone, Redrick will have nobody to distract him. We can focus our efforts upon resolving this crisis, and we will have the resources to do so. Kill him, and in return I will give you the means to speak with Redrick. A secret way by which you can avoid the guards. They are not as patient as I, you see, nor do they ask many questions before attacking. She raises a finger. All this with the condition that you do not harm Lord Redrick. Hey, let's take the deal and then double-cross her. Sorry, I said that louder than I meant to. Got excited. Okay. So, I'm not quite sure if no deals I'm leaving now triggers a fight. But I am going to roll to see, because we will be siding with Nedmar, which means unlocking and freeing Gyako. So we don't necessarily need to kill her. So, let's do a roll to see if old Clarence Wong is in a killing mood today. Low kill, high spare. Oh, that's a 1. Yes, monstrous as the creatures you make. Oh, very well. If it's battle you long for, I'm happy to indulge you. Perhaps Lord Redrick will show me greater favor if I bring him your corpse as well. Alrighty, so. She is a wizard. So I'm going to actually begin with a thrust of tattered veils with my wizard, have Ayla fire off his magic missiles. I'm going to have Adair do a quick wall over here. Kana is going to fire his gun straight at the wizard. And I'll just have him cast a blessing. Oh, that was a good first volley. Okay, those two are going to continue attacking with the regulars. Okay, there goes the wizard. I'm going to have Adair do a knockdown. Have Durance do a Arcane Brilliant, not Holy Radiance. And have everyone go after the last Revenant. Alright, that was very well done, well executed. Good job, team.
If we get some sleep.
So we do get a key here, and we do get her grimoire. Oh, that makes so much sense for Clarence. See, the dice never lie. This is technically stealing, but she's dead. And that's a lore box. Cat! At first you think this poor creature's diseased, for its black fur seems to have fallen off its hide in patches. But when the cat turns to investigate or fly in the wall, you note an entire section of its rib cage is open to the air. Some of its tail has rotted away altogether to reveal a few jagged vertebrae. It's an undead cat. It doesn't seem to bother the cat much. It lets out a trilling purr and rubs against your shins. Pet the cat. Pick up the cat. You pick up the surprising light and unexpectedly pointy creature, and it purrs contentedly in your arms. You spend a few pleasant moments scratching the cat between the ears. Black fur comes away in clumps. And now we have a black cat. It's a pet. It goes in the pet slot. And now it follows us around. Best feature in this game. Alright, first let me actually take a look-see at her grimoire. Yes, we get a guaranteed fireball and lightning bolt. That is so useful. Yes, I want those. Since I have to roll for my spells when I level up, having those guaranteed is perfection itself. Of course, I won't be able to use them in a bit, but still. Okie dokie, let's look here.
Nice and quiet.
So this might be towards the route she mentioned.
I'll give it a try, at least.
I have to burn one luck pick. Oh well.
As requested.
Let me do a quick save first. Just in case. Yeah, that heads up to the keep kitchens. Actually, through the keep kitchens, if you're stealthy, you can go from the here to the keep kitchens to the temple. It's all on one central staircase column. Ooh, camping supplies. I might actually use those before we're done here.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Would you now?
What's this?
And I do like how where you see the shields and the vents is where the traps actually are. It's a nice little touch. Alrighty. And he's right here. Might as well drop out. Open her up. This young man's face is badly bruised, and his gaunt form is covered in a threadbare shirt. He watches you, shivering, with a measure of hope in his eyes. I don't know who you are, but will you help me? Poor lad's taken a beating. We're trespassing as it is. Let's set him free and take a single scolding for it. I don't think I can fight my way out. You must be Gayako. Nedmar sent me to find you. Nedmar. The priest sent you? I thought... Well, I thought he'd leave me here to rot. He wasn't too happy when I left the keep. I told him I could do far more good with Kulsk than as an alkalite. He accused me of joining a band of outlaws. I guess we were both wrong. What can you tell me about Nedmar? Nedmar's been a father to me, really. My actual father was a traitor, and he died in a bandit raid when I was young. I don't remember him much. I remember the days after, though, stuck here in Gilded begging for food. Nedmar was a priest of the scattered god back then. He took me in and raised me in the church. I was going to follow in his footsteps even after he converted, and we turned to the twinned god. But I started seeing what was happening to Gilded Vale, what Radric was doing, and Nedmar, he just kept on saying that things would work out, that we had to stand by the lord of the keep. Kulsk was the only one who seemed to be willing to do anything about it, instead of, well, preaching. So that's two fathers I've left behind. You're free, make a run for it. Thank you, stranger. I have to get back to the fork, but first, some food and rest, I think. Tell Nedmar well, tell him that I still have the carving of the pale knight he gave me as a boy, and that I hope he is well. Good luck, and may the gods keep you safe. Okay, so let's head back to Nedmar. Okay, head on over to Nedmar. Gyaka is safe. He asked me to tell you that he kept the carving you gave him as a boy. Nedmar's eyes widen. With sudden vigor, he rushes forward to grasp him. Oh, thank the gods, thank you. I did not think you could that as I feared. I did not want him to meet the pale knight so soon. Here, what I promised you in return. He pulls a large iron key from the pocket of his robe and hands it to you. This will open a door in the scriptorium, and from there you can reach the chapel and Lord Ragic without encountering quite so many guards. Take this too. I have little wealth to offer. Better to give something of use. 2 scrolls of protection. I will entreat you before you go. Despite his shortcomings, Lord Ragic follows the gods with obedience, and he has Gilded Vale's best interest in mind. It may be that with time he can achieve what he desires. Please consider this before you turn to violence. I need to rest. Of course, I'll ball the door. Would you like to rest for 8 hours? Yes! I might be going into a combat here, so might as well take what we can from here.
I'll go on ahead.
This is just, I believe, Nedmar's suite. Oh, that's nice. Plus 3 mechanics for 2 minutes. That might become useful down the road. We will hold on to that. So we're going to do a quick save. Head on through. And he did give us a passphrase, which we might use after quick loading, because I did not want to fight through that. So let's get those Berithian priest robes back on.
All right, then.
Ikki-dikki.
Hey.
Now we should be able to... Alright, good. So I think that passphrase is only really used when we have the robes on. Alrighty. Now let's go downstairs. Okay. First we're going to... put our actual armor back on. Give him a better shield.
Hey.
Do a save. Alrighty. Now to have a talk with the Lord of a barren land. Let him approach. Flanked by a host of guards, all of whom regard you with mute hostility, Lord Raedric VII observes you from his throne, clad in ornate plate. His eyes have a hollow quality, and there's a pallor to the man's gaunt face that leaves his features showing stark against his dark and unkempt hair. There's a dagger discarded upon one stone arm of the throne. A thin, crimson rivulet warms its way down from the blade and past Raedric's fingers, even as he leans forward to regard you with a piercing gaze. Thought he'd be better looking, even with all the inbreeding. Though his face is calm, you'll notice Eddar's hand straying towards his weapon as though with a mind of its own.
It is unlike Kolsch to hire mercenaries, or foreigners for that matter. And you are not one of mine, so I cannot accuse you of treason.
You've come far closer than his people ever did. Much too close. A quiet infiltration, and done more skillfully than Kulsk could ever manage. I did not expect it.
What has my cousin promised you? Some grand reward? If he had any resources to his name, he would not covet mine. And if he had any honor in him, he would not have tried this here, now, when I have lost so much.
Okay, so we are going to be deciding now whether we want to side with Raedric or Kulsk. So Clarence Wong, being the arbitrary little funbag he is, We are going to make a roll for that. Let's go even, Kulsk, odd, Redrick. That is 4, so even Kulsk. Alrighty, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. Kind of going along that path. Okay. Gilded Vale has softened under your rule. It deserves a better leader. And you think Kulsk is that leader? What does he understand of what it means to be Thane? He has gathered a meager assembly of illiterate farmers and scavengers to himself, and sends these in suicidal action against my guards.
You are a pawn in Kolsch's designs, and he has kept his motivations from you for a reason. I wonder if you understand what it is you do, or what you might accomplish if you were better informed. You have proven your competence in your way, and had I such an ally, we might together put an end to Gilded Vale's woes, lift the curse once and for all, and in doing so, return us to a life where such strict measures are not necessary.
Okay. 3 choices lead us on the path to fighting him. Alright, that's... Okay, I'm not convinced. Defend yourself.
Be it. May the twinned god take pity upon your splintered soul, and scatter it to the winds.
Okay, so first... Archmage, my ass. Okay, you got your gun right. Good. Shoot the mage. Aloth. Let's put a web out here. I want you to... Is there a hold position command? I don't think so. So I'll let them just kind of idle for a few seconds. Okay. In it, I'll have him cast Fairy Fire. Adair, if you would do the knockdown on the defender. Okay, that's off. We'll have the magic missile from Aloth to the Archmage. Yeah, you're just down. Okay. Wow! Oh, that must be some sort of rogue. Okay, Archmage is down. Okay. Foe AoE blind. Adair, if you could knock down the bodyguard. Kana, you are still on one phrase. Yeah, let you reload for now. Let things continue for a bit. Let's try and daze some folks as well with Aloth. Magic missile on Raedric. Kana, if you would shoot Raedric. There we go. Switch over to Estok. Attack the bodyguard. Have you do your arcane assault. Same for Aloth when he gets that done. Okay, bodyguard is dead. Have Kana and Clarence attack the defender. Dare, if you would attack Raedric with your precise striking. Okay, Aloth is free. We'll have a magic missile Raedric. Excellent. And magic missile Raedric with Clarence. Okay, Raedric's down. We can all focus on the defender. And that goes that. Justice. Unique greatsword two-handed. We will give that to Dare.
Alright then.
Spellwright's Tome. Let's see what's in that tome. Oh, here we are. Flame, console hearts. It's okay. That's a standard AOE, but it's a nice one. Jolting touch. Okay. Actually, I think I will take this one just in case. And while we're at it, those runes. Have you done these two as well, Alof? Alrighty.
Hey.
So that is one regicide down. Oh, I love the T-bows in there. We heard that you had moved against the keep, and yet we have arrived too late. But a moment earlier, and I would have heard his dying breath. No matter. It is done. The tyrant is dead, and our village is free to move into a greater future. Gilded Vale owes you a great debt. I owe you a great debt. You have accomplished what I could not. Take what rewards you care from Radric's vaults. You have earned them twice over. There is much to do. We must send word to the Earl, of course. Revoke the crew laws Radric has installed. But do not think we will forget your assistance. You have brought about great change. Take pride. Everyone will remember this moment. Come, men, clear these bodies from the hall. Alrighty. So yeah, like, and the third option is just to, like, barge your way in here through the front door in the courtyard and fight everyone. But, why? I'm just gonna do a quick search see through this, area, grab what we can. Let's actually go into scouting here, just in case there's any hidden items. Lower.
Yeah, I've got something over here.
Ha-ha! Oh, it's just a door. Potion of protection from elements. Deer of Rebellion. Lore. Lower. Yeah, this is, if you helped Osra, this is the path you could come up. Lower. Ooh, pistol. Good amount of cash. Lockpick.
The work of a moment.
Okay, just more boots of stealth. Might as well. Dusty old ledgers record the taxes paid on the farm stalls in Gilded Vale as far back as 2632. Riveting. Yeah, like you've said with Osra, you would come up here from the dungeon laboratory and then go through the private chambers as opposed to the private chapel. Blood, silhouette, ones from the woman's slit throat, soaking the sheets below.
As requested.
Ring of protection, basically. Yeah, and this just leads into the throne room. And just to show where this would have gone. And, yep, that's pretty much it for a lot of the optional stuff in Chapter 1, outside of just follower quests, which kind of arch throughout the game. Yeah, and then there's just this little
I'll see what I can find.
Place. So we're going to go out through the courtyard, see if there's anything else we can ransack for loot. And then we will be heading over to the Black Hound to rest once more. And then head over to Katnua to finish up Chapter 1. Oh yeah. Stuff to loot. Okay, lower ramparts, upper ramparts. Because that, yeah, that just supports us up here. The air in the stable is heavy with bat dung. Okay, pull away some of the black mask here. And then just examine over here, see if there's anything to loot. Some crafting material. Yeah. And this is like where you could also infiltrate into the dungeons through this moat. And some more crafting material. So I do want change that over.
Hey.
Oh wow, they really got this on lock with the felled trees. Can't really exit the screen that way. Wonderful. Just nap. Need to get to an exit itself. Come in. There we go. Okay, back to Gilded Vale. Actually, we'll go to the bridge before Katnua. Rest on up to get our spells back.
Welcome.
Alright, and taking a rest. Head to Madmere Bridge. Troll? Adair, can you knock the troll over? And since it's good against crushing damage, just switch to the sword. Wow, that is doing some... Let me see if I can move Aeloth over to do burning hands on him. That'll do. I should cast a combusting wounds as well.
Slip.
Missed. Alright, fellas, let's just continue to kill it. Second wind of endurance. I use the priest spells relatively. Wow, that's not much.
Here's a lesson to be taught.
Yeah, it's called priest spells. That kind of. I mean, they're useful, but the endurance restoring ones are okay. They are good in that they will actually be a friendly AoE on an area, so you can like heal multiple party members at once. That is nice about them. Damn looters can't be bothered to find an honest wage. Curse my luck. The bridge to Defiance Bay is out. And if that's where you're headed, you'll need to find another route. What destroyed the bridge? The river has been rising on account of all the storms. Here where the river narrows, the flooding did the most damage. Guess that don't make things to last around here, do they? One of the stone columns collapsed in a flash flood, taking the whole damn middle section of the bridge out to sea. Matimer Bridge was the most direct route to Gilded Vale. From the Gilded Vale to Defiance Bay, merchants and travelers now have to find boat passage or add days of extra travel to loop around the bay. So I started a ferry service, thinking I'd earn some coin and help others cross over the bay. And that was a bigger mistake than that time I allowed a cipher to court me. How so? I had been attempting to turn a quick copper, but, just my luck, the blasted currents threw my ferry into the rocks, dashed it and my profits to pieces. Making matters worse, when I went to prowl the shore to salvage whatever shipping crates didn't sink, a pair of looters attacked me. The damned brigands had the nerve to attack. I managed to avoid harm, but now they have stolen by force all that is left of my fortune. You know, you look like you're a fair bet against those looters than little old me. Could I enlist your help? We're gonna do it because, you know, it's quest, it's content. What's in it for me? You would make a good merchant! I'd worry if you didn't inquire about your own profit motive. Wonderful people. She scratches her ear, blushing as she squeaks. I'm a bit destitute at the moment, but I have a shop over in Defiance Bay. If you help me recover my merchandise, I'll sell you whatever you want for a bargain. I will take a look. Goodbye. So here. Hey, Loth, please get out of the direct line of fire. Alrighty, got one down.
All right then. Leave it to me.
Can I switch the gun if you would?
Following your lead.
Hey.
Gathered around the soggy timbers of a shipwreckage, men and women pick through the driftwood, snatching muddy silverware, moldy clothes, chipped pottery, and anything they can spot amongst the detritus. All eyes turn to you as you approach. Where are Bertrand and Terran? They were just up along the path and we heard fighting. They attacked us. It was a matter of that's relative for it. Why not? That wreckage is private property, and you are looting. Looting, but this is a wreck. What value does it have? Please, we need these supplies dearly. The storm took everything from us. It is not our desire to steal, but we are destitute. Should we let these wares just sink to the river bottom? Yeah, let's take another roll here. I'm sorry for your misfortune. Can I help? The ever-arbitrary Clarence Wong. Perhaps you could tell the merchant you found nothing beyond bits of driftwood. From her point of view, it will be as though the river washed it all away. Besides, how much copper will she really make by selling those rotting clothes and soiled wares? But she is offering me a discount. I will not lie to cover your thievery. Then you leave us with no choice.
Great.
And these folks go down very easily, being, you know, destitute looters. Oh, what a glorious combat. In the name of capitalism. Immunity to confuse in +2 intellect. Yes! Thank you.
All right, then.
He has glowy little eyes. And that's the cargo. Would these happen to be your wares? Okay, my helpful stranger returns. Have you managed to find anything yet? Even if all you found is driftwood, just knowing these lords got what they deserved would moisten my britches. Okay, then! Thank you. I was beginning to think it had all sunk to the bottom of the river. Consider it a small token of my gratitude. I reward you promptly when you visit my shop at Defiance Bay.
Looks like Andra's gushing enough for both moons.
Oh, God, really? This is a very horny bridge. And more kobolds. I'm just revealing the area right now, seeing if there's anything else. More kobolds. Fine hatchet. Okay, so that looks like, yeah, that's... Gotta just pick everything up. I just gotta see what's down here. It's gonna be nothing, I'm pretty damn sure, but if you know, you know. There we go. And finally to Cade Nua. Just looking at our XP. Okay.
Hello.
Do a save.
Hello. Old and dry with cobwebs in every crack. It reminds me of Woodica.
Durds, come on. Do you only have one setting? Pervy Priest. Yeah, and Cade Nua is basically overrun with shadows and spirits, so
Leave it to me.
a lot of enemies that will just can kind of teleport around and break any line you even had.
What?
Endurance, I'm getting rid of your crappy robes and giving you some actual goddamn armor. Yeah, your recovery time will sink like a stone, but I don't care at this point. And actually, by not that much. Comparatively.
Hey,
Frayed lengths of rope and a few flint chips are scattered across this workbench.
Nothing will slip past me.
Come, undead kitty.
Verathus!
Okay, Shadow and Phantom. Ooh, I got some stunning attacks.
I meant to do that.
As long as you're stunning the tank, I don't care. Alrighty.
Let's see what lies this way.
Past the ruined church. Well, chapel. This trapdoor has been battered by the elements. Tugging on the rusted handle only produces a heavy rattling. Flamed lights. Just elementals. Explode. Oh, and they are immune to piercing damage. Will o' the Wisp. Which can confuse folk. Come on, Adair. There we go.
hey.
Leave our village! We've done nothing to you!
Another Will o' the Wisp. Shadows.
Just giving them a fair shot.
Probably best to take up the bow before the shadow. Come on, Adair, you can do it. Get off your confusion. There we go. Now let's see if you can knock down the shadow. There we go. Alrighty. The hedges grow in shaggy heaps shot through with weeds and tall grasses. The sour odors of rancid grain and spoiled fruit permeate the air. Dust and rusted utensils cover the countertop. Don't know if there's anything in here. Yeah, not yet. Right, yep, the stairs are out too, so we can't go to the second floor. Alrighty, so into the main keep. Might as well go down here. Okay. Let's head to the main keep. Personally, I love this here, the Audra pillars shaped into fingers, reaching up. Mm.
Do you think he'd be mad if we sat in his chair? He doesn't have to know.
You make a good point there. Got it, all focused fire.
Hey.
Come on. Yes, the Whispers of Yenward. So this is a unique item. It's actually really nice. So that's -3 will. That's only like your will defense. So it's actually like very negligible. But it's 25 damage against spirits, more accuracy against spirits. Grazes can get converted to hits. It gives you additional constitution. It's just a nice sword to have. So I will be giving it actually to Adair. Now, technically, anyone could equip it. And let me see, we have /pierce, crush.
Hey.
Brave thou see lost.
But you know, guns are also good against everything, unless they're immune to piercing damage. As you come to the end of the Great Hall, you perceive an inviting warmth radiating from a grand throne wrought out of marble, its masterful artistry out of place amidst the castle's more practical stonework. The veiled face of a woman is carved above the throne's backing, watching over the room with hollow eyes. As you approach, you feel the warmth fluctuate as though stirring. A voice rings out from the carving, permeating the fortress through stone and air.
Another watcher in Cadnua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance.
Who's that speaking?
I'm sorry if I startled you. I'm afraid my manners have been slipping. I haven't had much opportunity for introductions lately. In any case, I assume you're here looking for Meerwald.
Are you imprisoned in that throne?
Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins, one of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul. Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place.
Tell me more about Meerwald.
He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been, so he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it. But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we've made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me.
Any idea where I can find Meerwald?
I can feel his presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind.
Farewell.
Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
Alrighty, and that opens up the door that we need to go through. Before that, though, we would be remiss if we did not poke around the ruins. Oh, spirits. Yeah, just kill that phantom first. Well, disperse, I suppose. Then focus on the shadow. Yeah.
Slippery devil.
And if I moved Aloth, he would suffer a disengage attack, so I was not willing to do that. Because if anyone's going to get an injury from going down in combat, it's going to be Durance, because I hate him. This map shows the Deerwood's old colonial borders. Something called near Durnwood is marked in the place of present-day Defiance Bay. So that's a funny little quirk about this game's world, is the Deerwood is actually set in something of this world's New World continent. There are empires over the sea that actually came and colonized this landmass. And then the Deerwood broke away. Mini spiders. Arachnophobia warning. Oh my god, Durance, why are you such a... if you would summon some skeletons to take care of the light work, thank you kindly. Take out that ivy spiderling.
Your tail ends here.
Ooh, am I? Okay, you guys attack there, attack. Actually have a dare do a knockdown. I think he might have been poisoned, which is why he took so much freaking damage. Damn it. Okay.
You can trust me. Consumed by the flame.
Run away!
Let's burn this away.
You know, it says something when I trust the wizards to put up a better fight than Durance.
That's it.
Leave it to me.
Of course.
Okay. Eat what we will. Yeah.
Hey,
Use our field triage on
New orders,
Durance.
Lieutenant.
Follow
Ready
the
your
orders.
squad.
What?
hey.
Okay. So now at least you can take enough health damage without dying.
We'll take those farmers by surprise.
So this is also the first level of the Endless Paths of Odd Nua. It is a 15-level kind of mega dungeon, and with lots of fun stuff in it. It is one where you're going to be kind of like coming back to it as you progress throughout the game. Alright. Throw them back, let them come to us.
This fight is mine.
Kinda have you switch over to your S-Stock. Adair, if you would knock it down. Thank you, Kana. Come on in. You two start
Following
firing. And of course, Durance is in engagement. Anyways, Durance, please move away. Thank you.
Of course. I'll see what I can find.
Ah. 3 per rest, restore light endurance. I will likely never use them.
You're not getting through me.
Raid.
Actually, I think I will give those gloves to Kana. Oh, not bad. Aha, and the key. So we don't have to use a lockpick. Even though we easily could have.
Hey.
That's good money. The shimmering wall of energy extends across the doorway like a curtain. It repels forward movement with unnatural force. Interesting. Perhaps that voice in the throne upstairs would know more. Howdy who! Kinda, if you would quickly switch back over to your gun real quick, please and thank you. Adair, if you would go block their way.
Yes?
Adair, if you would do a knockdown. Thank you kindly.
Let's burn this.
Have you all do some focused fire. Excellent, excellent.
This away.
Hey.
Alrighty, so, and in all seriousness, I am going to say this. Arachnophobia warning coming up. There is a boss on this level, which is the giant spider
You're not
queen.
getting through me.
And you can make out her spidery bits more than the other spiders. Oh, wow. 30 resistance to slashing. Move over to that.
That's not very helpful.
So I did have a deer go overwhelm. Actually, no, it's slashing and piercing, but still, even at a 15 DR, having that two-handed weapon is going to help him get through it a bit faster. So weapons will deal whatever type of damage is most preferable against an enemy that it can.
Of course.
You're not getting through me.
That's how it's done.
Thank you kindly, gents. Do a save down here. Looters! This is my place to loot, not yours. Be gone with ye. Can I just switch on over to the sword? Thank you. And let's do an arcane blast, why not? Thank you for the tooltip. Oh wow, they have Yeah, had a really good deflection, but like shit well. Mushrooms. Right. Okay. Just remembering something from later in the game. Wood beetle. Yeah, only damage reduction of 7 on this guy.
That's it.
Thank you kindly.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
I'll have this open in no time. That'll do it.
Yep. In fine Obsidian tradition, whenever you have a chance to use skills, typically it gives you XP on successful uses. Okay, so I do have to go around this way to get over there. Do a quick save. Oh my, Adair, you're getting a bit low on health.
Following your lead.
Kind of head back over
Hey.
to his gun. Oh, it's swept up desiccated people. I wonder what could be coming up. Rather than covered with a dull patina, this elaborately carved pillar appears far older than the surrounding structure. Oh, just some spears in the Spider Queen. Let us onward. First, yeah, wait for her. Wait for her to get in range.
Ready when you are.
Lots of spider links. Think I will just favor taking out the big one first. They are immune to web. Okay. I'm gonna cast a blindness on him. Do combusting wounds as well. Adair, if you would kindly knock him down. And Durance, if you would fairy fire.
Yes.
Poison.
Oh, no, it exploded. Okay. Necrotic Lance. Gonna do some magic missiles against this little guy.
Following your
Arcana
lead.
reload. Durance, if you would attack, I'll actually do a holy power to buff you and Adair. Adair, if you would so kindly knock down again. Thank you kindly. Do my own magic missile against the Spider Queen. Iloth, if you would magic missile them. Kana's gonna get another shot off. Good enough. If Kana switch over to his sword and go on in. And he is actually at 3 charges, so I'm gonna have him summon up a phantom. Nice. Oh, crit from Adair. Very nice.
Roak 10. Brave not
In Utrecht. Okay, so it's a stiletto. DR reduction. Very nice.
All right then.
And then we can go up here. And this is the hand that is on the Adra Colossus. Right here. And honestly, yeah, we're going to go back to level 1. So throughout the Endless Paths of Adnoa, there is a master staircase. that you can use to travel through it on certain floors. Tiny spider, it's a pet. We will not be using that. So, Merwald is going to be through this door. We used a good amount of our spells with the actual Obnua bosses. One thing I am going to do, get this Grimoire, switch on over to Aloth, have him learn Necrotic Lance and Thrust. And if you look at Aloth's, so Aloth can use Necrotic Lance now once the cooldown ends.
Hey.
Wizards are a bit of a saving grace for this friend. Okay.
No. Keep away from us. Leave us.
Maybe we should come back later?
Are you Merwald? He looks up over his hands, the muscles around his eyes twitching, and begins whispering to himself in sharp hisses, as though having an argument. All at once he stops shaking, a sudden calmness falling over him. His head tilts forward slightly, and he looks you dead in the eye, like a cornered animal about to pounce. His voice turns suddenly raspy.
Mayor Wald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He has sent for no callers. Be gone, deceiving spirit.
Alright. I won't leave until I've spoken to Merwald.
Mayor Wald will speak with you, but you will maintain your distance, or you'll have me to answer to.
The old man turns his body away and has another muttered, sputtering argument facing the wall. When he turns back toward you, he has taken a confident stance, and his chest is puffed out like a soldier's. A new strength enters his voice.
Come to speak to Mayor Wald? Mayor Wald, whose touch is poison? Mayor Wald, who knows not his effect?
I was told I am a watcher and that you could tell me more about it. And about a tablet of some worth after that, once you two are finished, of course.
The window. Window to the ether, where spirits dwell. Hear and reach into it. Speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, reads them, knows their pasts, souls of the living, souls of the dead, in empath, and the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I? But the gods wanted of me, thought I. The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged. It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners. Little I knew.
You seem to have lost your mind.
Lost? No. Found more of it. Too much. Too much to bear. An awakening.
How could a simple awakening have driven you to this? You mean you remember your past lives? So in options like these, where I clearly have a skill that includes my character, and I'm just going to take it.
Something reminds. Memories stirred. Memories before birth. Other bodies. Other times. Memory. Personality. Identity. Any might resurface. Or all.
And I seem to be having a conversation with several of them right now.
Ghosts of the mind. Mayor Wald has lost control. Mayor Wald's body no more.
The spirits I passed, what are they?
Spirits and not spirits. always whispering to Mayorwald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own souls. Once Mayorwald awakened, they could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less.
The spirits are memories from previous lives.
Troubled memories, angry memories, pulling Mayorwald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier, soldier and marauder, how could they know?
How do you tell a spirit from a memory?
Fragmented are memories, stuck in time, mindless, cruel, never far.
I've seen apparitions like those elsewhere since I became a watcher.
Oh, no. You too. You too.
All at once, in spite of his abject misery, his expression changes to one of utmost sympathy. Poor man. Poor man.
They will take you too.
What? An inevitable madness? That can't be right. There's always an answer to be found, if you look hard enough. You're saying I'll end up like you.
So fragile, the Watcher's mind. So real, his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep?
Why do these past lives still trouble you?
My fault. All my fault. Soldier and marauder. Soldier and marauder and Mayorwald. No forgiveness for what's past. No undoing what's done. No sleep. No sleep for the Watcher. War there was all around. War of stone. War of tree.
War of Tree. Oh, of course, the Broken Stone War and the War of Black Trees. This was in the early period of Adirian colonization, fighting between the Deerwood colonists and the native Glenfathans, you see. But that was a long time ago.
Death we brought to the settler men. We, the 9 claws. Claws of 9. Worse what we did to the women. For love of the gods. The gods' love. For their love.
You are past life rated villages, then. Mayorwald's voice becomes raspy, and he is somewhere else in place and time, speaking to someone unseen.
Hold her down. Head her. Give this Adir bitch an heir that belongs in Air Glodfath.
Mayorwald cringes, himself again. Watching something he can't bear to see, shaking his head over and over, he wails. His soul is marked by flame, and those marks will never heal. His trial has broken him, but better that than to live in weakness. Okay. Take your time, it's over now. It was long ago. Continue when you're ready.
The boy. The boy. The baby boy. The boy. Conceived in the raid. Conceived by force. Vessel for marauder. Slain in the raid. Marauder and the boy. Marauder and soldier.
A baby conceived by the raider. What do you mean it was a vessel for him?
For the soul. A marauder's soul. Same soul. One soul. Boy's soul. Marauder's soul. Raised in lies and vengeance. Raised to soldier. Raised for the fire. Born for the fire.
Raised for the fire?
You'll get no pity from me. The crimes of the Nine Claws clan in the last war are still unavenged. But the gods are just. They have led me here. In my father's name, every one of you will burn. Light it.
Burning his own, and why not? If they have been wicked and earned their punishment. He is weak of mind and soul. To see him cower before the flame, that should give you the measure of him. Mayorwald's shoulders slump. He rocks back and forth, agitated. He mutters to himself, oblivious to your presence.
Soldier and marauder. Lies and vengeance. And dead villages. All dead. All dead. What for? What for?
So, just to piece this all together, basically what Meerwald awakened to in his past lives was being a Glenfallen raider who forced himself onto a woman during a raid. That raider was then killed. The raider's soul then wound up as the soul of the child he sired. That child grew up and wound up wiping out the clan of his father against the same soul. And upon awakening to all of this and like the same actions taken by the same soul of those different lifetimes, it just kind of broke his mind. I see no reason, just bad luck.
How little we know.
If I'm awakened to past life, how would that have happened?
You were reminded of it. Strong memories, lingering lives, they dwell near the surface, waiting to be remembered, waiting to take your mind for their own. Meerwald sat at his hearth and watched his fire, watched the wood burn. Then came the memory of another fire and burning wood and screams.
There must be some way to make those memories go away.
No. Always there, always remembered. Can't forget, can't unsee.
I didn't just remember someone caused this. They wore masks and spoke of books and keys and a queen. There was a man there. He seemed familiar to me.
Keys of lead, books of burden, queens that were. Known to me are they, the leaden key.
The leaden key? It seems we share an enemy, Clarence Wong. Assassins and Watcher Wakers both. They certainly kept busy. What can you tell me about this leaden key?
Secrets and deceptions and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of Watchers, hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets.
Who is this queen they pray to?
Woodica, goddess, crown shattered and body burned. Binder of oaths and grudge holder. Bearer of justice. But whose?
If the leaden key caused my awakening, could they undo it?
Many secrets do they keep. Unawakened? Mayhap. Who else if not they?
Do you know where I might find the leaden key?
City of Defiance. Never far from the Queen.
I need to go so I can search for this man from the leaden key.
Sleep well. Sleep well.
Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Adir land thieves than take orders from me.
I'd sooner do a lot of things than take orders from a lunatic.
Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowayne's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
And we are in combat. Okay, so he also has a blight with him. So he is a wizard. So I'm actually going to start off with a magic missile. Corrosive lance. Kana gun. Let's see here. What's a good buff? No. No. Okay, let's just go for the blessing.
Brave,
And have a deer intercept.
not believe.
A deer. If he can move, intercept.
Worthy.
Folks, can we move? Who's... Oh, that's me. Oh, what positioning? Okay, Adair, if you would knock down. Eloth, if you could cast another of those against him.
Hey. Lavaru, be on.
Okay, good, good, good. More magic missiles. And more magic missiles. And if you would, summon up a phantom. Thank
Ready
you.
when you are.
Phantom, if you would kill. Alrighty, we should have this one on hand. Actually, I think they're in a damage field, which is... Yep, they were in a damage field. Of course. Have you do your second wind. Have you do your magic missiles. Arcane. Move over
Just say the
here.
word. Indeed.
There we go. There's a change in the air of the keep. What was thick and suffocating feels to you somehow more breathable, as though yielding to a conquering invader. Merwald's body lies inert. You can feel his soul lingering there, uncertain. There is something unique about the soul in this place, a bond formed in decades of inhabitants and lordship that feels somehow palpable to you, as though even in death the keep knows its former master, and that former master remembers his keep. Was granted speaker to the restless. In your mind's eye, the bond seems to you as a frayed rope, ghostly and alive. Its fray and withers like a tide pool anemones. You can find that if you concentrate on it, you have the ability to manipulate its strands. Let's make a roll. Alright, repair the rope. Binding Merrod's soul here as an eternal warden. The frayed pieces twist and fuse, and as the bond strengthens, the fibers become metal and the rope becomes a chain. You watch as Merrod's soul recedes into the floor, melding with it, spreading thin across it until it is one with the entire place. A silent guardian. Yeah, Durance has 9 health left.
Hey.
Oh, sorry about that. Merwald's Grimoire. Let's take a look at Merwald's. Oh, Bulwark of Omens, I want that. You know, Chill Fog, let's learn that. That is what was giving Aelith and Kana so much trouble. And yeah, Spirit Shield, why not?
Hey.
Okay, and let's loot the room. Very important.
Cast light in dark.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
I'll give it a try, at least. As requested.
Alrighty.
You cannot wait that older set? I don't want to discuss it.
Aelith. And let's talk to Kana.
Merwald. He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
He was weak, I won't end up the same way. That's the spirit. We'll have a look at that church he talked about. I look forward to finding out just what the Letting Key's involvement in all this is.
Hey. Aye, you're right. No sense listening to that old bam part.
Damn Virago, not now!
Yes?
Aelith? That's all.
Hey. All right, then.
I felt Mayorwald's passing. You slew him.
Several of him.
It saddens me to hear it. But part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in darkness. This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will all its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Mayorwald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands, it could be so much more. If you had only seen it in its day. Will you stay?
I've always wanted my own keep, even if it is a little cursed. Then it is yours, my lord. I cannot begin to tell you how glad that is, how good it is to know that the keep is in capable hands once again. I suppose I should mention first that if you mean to travel to Defiance Bay for supplies, there has been a complication of a kind. The Eastern Barbican collapsed decades ago, and Mayorwald never got around to rebuilding it, so the road here is a dead end. He got as far as gathering materials before he became preoccupied. I could make an arrangement to have it repaired if that is your will. When it ceased to be the previous master's will, I became powerless to do anything about it, for what am I but the master's instrument? I would take time, but far less than finding another route to Defiance Bay. What does being master of Caed Nua entail? Why, there are many responsibilities involved in maintaining the keep. The extent to which you wish to get involved in entirely is up to you, of course. Part of the reason I am here is to ensure that things run smoothly in your absence, provided we have been given instruction. If you instruct me on which repairs you wish to conduct next, I will make the necessary arrangements. That may take some time to finish, but each will provide you with additional resources once they are complete. Given somewhere to place them, we can hire tradesmen to provide you with supplies or ingredients. Repairing the keep will raise your prestige and draw both helpful individuals and unwelcome attention from bandits and opportunists. If we can raise the keep's security in turn, those will become less of a concern. You should know, however, that this position does come with some risk. Your name will grow in fame, and you must contend with threats to the keep. And then there are other things. What did you mean by risks? Mayorwald's curse was his own, a watcher's curse, but his predecessors have not fared better. There is a presence within the keep, or rather far beneath it. At least, such has been the conclusion drawn by all who came to this place. From what spirits still linger in the endless paths often speak of a master below. Every effort to settle here has failed, from time of our Idean colonists onward. Beasts rise from the endless paths, until the new lord or lady is no more. The one who dwells below, this master, does not tolerate rivals, it seems. I have seen, from time to time, intrepid explorers descend to lay claim to what answers they can, but none return. There is a force which has kept Caed Nua bare in ruin, and robbed me of my hopes. The endless paths, that, my friend, is where I must go, where we must go, if you will go with me. Whatever devils lay beneath, think, too, of what knowledge we will find. Perhaps the master speaks Ideran. What are the endless paths? The endless paths of Nua, that is the name given to the labyrinth beneath the keep. The Earl, we were warned by the Glanfathans that this site was cursed. And there is a legend attached to it, though at the time we thought nothing of it. The ruins were built, it was said, by a powerful Ngwithan named Nua, who ruled there until his people turned against him. They destroyed his endless paths, and filled many of the upper tunnels in with soil and stone. No one living knows how far down the tunnels stretch, and few who have ventured there have returned. There is much talk of riches and treasure. The promise of Ngwithan relics alone has drawn many fortune-seekers. To the deaths, I fear. Who is this master below? I could not say with any certainty. I believe it must be tied to the man said to have been the architect of the endless paths, the Ngwithan tyrant Nua. Some claim his spirit endures, or at least he has laid a curse upon this site. I cannot imagine what remains of his work, for the ruins have been here 1,000 years or more, but what is left is impressive. The Earl certainly thought so. You may have seen, well below, the hand of the great statue Nua constructed. Perhaps it is a statue of Nua himself. But am I not the master of Caed Nua? Of course you are! The keep would have no other, but the endless paths are a different thing entirely. It is unfortunate, really, that they are so closely entwined. If the master below is not dealt with, there will always be a threat to the keep from within. I know it is much to take in, but if you would remain, if you would be lord of this place, then I can only advise you to seek out our foe before it destroys you. How do I repair the Barbican? Mirrorworld set aside materials for the Barbican. They are still available for you. In the future, if you wish to make further repairs to the keep, you will need coin for supplies and labor. Time to find this queen in the City of Defiance. You must know this queen you're looking for. Defiance Bay has no queen. The Mekuns of Edir haven't reigned here since the war. The only queen with any power here is Wudaka. I am told they erected an exquisite temple in her honor there, but I was never able to see it. If you mean to go there, we can get started right away on repairing the Barbican. You need only tell me what you wish to do, and I'll make the necessary arrangements. Millworld kept a ledger, as it happens, and I've taken the liberty of updating it. You can take a look if you wish. Let me see what repairs I can make. Then we'll get underway at once. Know, my lord, that this is but the first and least of a great many undertakings. The keep supported a great many buildings and servants for many years. If you should wish it, we can repair some of the outlying structures, and these will bring you wealth and recognition, drawing people to your service. Rebuilding the defenses will keep your grounds from becoming overrun as they did under Mirrorworld's keeping. You need not choose all at once. I am pledged to your aid, and so long as you are master here, we shall always be linked. You need not step upon these grounds to speak with me. Wherever your travels may take you, you can make your will known to me if you but reach out. Oh, but first, of course, the Barbican. Eastern Barbican. So now we actually have the keep unlocked. As you can see, there's a lot of different upgrades. We can rearrange our party here, get hirelings to help defend the keep. Lots of stuff.
Hey.
Yes, Kana.
I confess, I was hoping our meeting with Mirrorworld would go a little differently.
You don't say.
But then, you have gained an entire keep. I don't think I've seen anyone inherit land that quickly since Kine the Younger read her father's will.
I did come to the Deerwood looking for a new home. There, see? The ship floats yet. This might be good news in the end. Wherever else happens, you've an entire castle to explore, and answers yet to come in Defiance Bay, if Mirrorworld spoke true.
It will give you a base from which to go searching at least. And then, there are secrets beneath the keep yet. With you at the helm, it should be easier to explore the endless paths.
Okay, so real quick what I am going to do. So that's complete. I am going to start the Bright Hollow restoration, so we can rest here without having to spend supplies. Hey. That'll take 2 days, in-game days. So when we rest, first off, it's going to be using some camping supplies. Yep. You wake to the sensation of being shaken, and you open your eyes to see Adair standing over you. His hand jostling your shoulder, he looks concerned. Your eyes are heavy and your vision blurred, the vague unease of unremembered nightmares clouding your thoughts. You are not sure you slept at all the previous night.
You're awake? Good. You were kind of thrashing around, eyes rolled back in your head. You were shaking. Trying to snap you out of it for a long time now. I was gonna have to get a bucket of cold water. Didn't I? You got those dark circles under your eyes.
Not lately. At night there are dreams and whispers.
Take some time to adjust is all. I'll try to let it sort itself out. But you'd better wake up faster next time. Trust me, you don't want that bucket of cold water.
Alrighty. Hey. So now we are free to leave through the Eastern Barbican down to the road. And we're on the quest, never far from the Queen.
Bit just like your breeches, Scholar Lad.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. I said nothing.
And we'll start by heading to the wooded plains. Now here in the plains is where we will finally get the 6th named party member. First, Aeloth wants to say something. Aeloth seems lost in thought. He flinches when you draw near, sucking a sharp breath through his teeth.
What can I do for you?
You can start by explaining what's going on.
I wish I could. But as to walking memories and the old man who can no longer distinguish them from reality, I fear I'm at a loss. And if Meerwald is to be believed, it would seem you've an uncertain future ahead.
I don't know what to think.
Perhaps Defiance Bay holds the answers we need.
I want to discuss something else, and that's just his basic dialogues.
Hey.
At one point I will be sitting down and going through their dialogues and stuff, especially Durance's, because you actually have to do that to progress his quest. But for now...
I don't know what I expected, but it sure wasn't that.
You said you had some things you wanted to ask him?
Person now. I just got a dumb idea in my head is all. Don't know why I thought it'd work. It's funny. That's probably the first thing I got my hopes up for in, I don't know, years. At least I got that out of it.
You were going to ask him in front of me anyway. You may as well tell me now.
You did bring me to see him. Those rumors back in Gilded Vale about my brother, Woden. About how he'd turned against us and fought for Wydwin. Been on my mind for some time, and that's what he'd do. One day he set out to fight for Deerwood against a man claiming to be our god. So I knew that's what I had to do too. It was right. And hearing claims that he died fighting for Rhea Saris, that got me worried. Not that he'd chosen the wrong side, but that I had. Didn't seem right what Wydwin had in store, but if he really was Aethys, or how my brother died, so I could see if it was true. Like he could, I don't know, read it in my soul or something. Use our connection. Told you it was dumb.
I don't think it works quite that way.
Watcher's not psychic. I think I just had this idea, and the idea made me feel a certain way, and I didn't want to lose that.
Really, if I wanted to find out my brother, I should have been starting with Rogers. I should have been starting with records. So why don't you? Adar thinks a moment, his lips twisting to one side. He raises his eyebrows. If there was anything written down about it, they'd have it in Defiance Bay. They've got an archive at the palace.
Would see fit to pay that archive a visit with me? Well, you know. Knowing my luck, the records clerk will go crazy and try to kill me. I'd feel better with you in there with me. Hey.
And here she is.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
A dwarven woman, dressed in skin and hides, leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bear figurine between her feet. A large, white-furred fox, standing at her heels, looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Standing around here is probably not the most productive thing you could do. Perhaps not, but running around all over the Deerwood hasn't done much good so far. The fox next to her yawns. Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Try something? What exactly are you talking about?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitok. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
How long have you been looking for Persok? 5 years. Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of your people in the Deerwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnations, which could be anyone. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember? Who could be anyone now?
That about sums it up.
Actually, I know how you feel.
Then you have my sympathies. Hopefully you've got a better lead than I do.
Okay. How does that statuette figure into it? She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it to her small, flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished ardor is worn to a dull matte along its arched back and ovid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitok, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time it looks just like this.
I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the Wolf's Lair and the Twining Trees.
Is Twining Trees a real place? He meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they've had some especially memorable trees. What's that Wolf's Lair? Defiance Bay. Locals call the current Duke Wolfgren. Sounds like he'd be fun to drink with. Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place. Right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
May I see the figure?
Why?
Please?
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary, but curious. You raise the Audra bear, turning it in the light. As your eyes catch a tiny, glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the scent of fresh vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You have to watch your step here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliff drops into the water hundreds of feet below you. Sniff the breeze. Refreshing. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you're standing, wherever Perkos is standing, must be near the ocean, not a lake. Okay. I see a vision of a cliffside over the water. Does that sound familiar? The question is greeted with shrugs and silence. I got it. He's standing on the cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I'm a real watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. If you'd seen the way he stares at dead things, you know he's serious.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Persok on the way.
And if this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Alrighty, and that is Songi, our ranger. So, time for the random build level up. Alrighty. We got a few to go through with her. So, first we get mechanics, lore, athletics, and then stealth, because that's the only one. Only then a survivor could take a 1. Okay. Utility category. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wound binding. Okay, so she can boost her own health. Survival. Stealth. Mechanics. And nothing can take a 1. Durability. Ooh, Vicious Aim, which is a modal. It is less range attack speed, less reload speed, but extra accuracy and extra damage. Lore. Mechanics. And the only one that can take the 2 is survival. Another utility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a 2. So, oh god, deep pockets again. I think Aloth also got deep pockets. It's a waste of a slot. Now she's ranger. I will be putting her here.
Ready when you are.
Ready, Watcher.
And she's a ranger. She's got an animal companion, which is a little Arctic fox, which is very cute. So we will just explore this map a bit. Forest Lurker. So she also has Wounding Shot, which hobbles the target and inflicts raw damage over time. Raw damage is basically damage that ignores any soak. It's really nice. It's typically done either through poison or bleed or psychic damage. And let's see if Aloth can give a knockover. Amen, folks. There we go.
Of course.
That, okay. Dead Adventurer, nice. Another Forest Lurker. Knock you over. Deal some raw damage. Might as well use one of my magic missiles.
Hey.
Another one of y'all.
Hey.
Alrighty. down for a bit. Oh, got a frigga. Basically a type of dryad. That can be fairly obnoxious if not taken care of early. Phew, damage reduction 15, wow.
Hey.
Some sort of homestead? It is some sort of homestead. Okay, so we're rejoining the area we've already seen. Let's push things back over here. Let's go scouting mode real quick. See if there's anything around here. Ooh, got another rite of hidden wonders. Wine dregs swirl around the bottom of this clay jug. Okie dokie. Let's investigate up here, because there is a bit of a monument here. So when I'm done on this screen, instead of heading toward the city, I'm actually going to go towards the village. The reason being is because we can actually pick up the next two party members on the way there. And have all the base game party members. There are 3 more party members in the DLC. The White March. I'll probably actually start that fairly early on this playthrough, just so I can go and pick them up, so we have access to the full party. But before that begins, we actually need to start Chapter 2 proper, which happens when we get into Defiance Bay. Technically, this is still Chapter 1, even though it kind of doesn't feel like it, because, we beat Cade Nua, but it feels a bit interstitial. Oh. I'll have you use cautious attack up your defense. Maybe that was useful to get. Huh. Okay, let's see what all is over here. Yeah, because we picked one up at Stonewall Gorge and another at Deerford Village. Then we go across the bridge into the city itself. Troll! Many trolls in a frigga. Okie dokie, so. Gonna shoot the frigga. Going to bless the party. Going to do that. You shoot her. You attack him. Okay. She's nearly dead. As you can see, near death. Okay, good. That's taken care of. Now attack. Let's do 2 of the arcane blasts from our wizards. And for Encounter Merriwald, we do a Speaker to the Restless. The Watcher speaks directly to the souls of his or her enemies, filling them with dread of what awaits in the wheel. And it's just like a frightened AoE. Which, you know, they've got really low will, so you know what, let's try it. Yeah, they're frightened. Not sure what that does, but I think it's a debuff of some sort. Second troll goes down, and now it's just cleanup. And a dazed, frightened troll. See it? One moment. Afflictions and injuries. Frightened. Resolve and dexterity reduced by 2 and accuracy reduced by 10. Okay.
Hey.
I think we were just like hitting him enough to do some stagger stuff. Which is why he wasn't attacking. Like, wait, does Frightened stop you from attacking? Because if so, that is amazingly useful. Against some very strong but dim-witted foes. But no, it's not that good. Now, if you want a truly broken status effect in this game, Petrified. Petrified is fantastic. I love it. They actually nerfed it in a patch to make it less broken, but it's still the most broken thing in the game. Dead lion.
Nothing will slip past me.
More lions. Ooh, into lioness. The dangerous one. Let's move the wizard away from the angry cat.
You're not getting through.
Waves of are roughly chiseled in the stone. They grasp at Andra's beloved moon like a curling finger. Ooh, dead pilgrim. Okay. Burns. Okay.
Hey.
Could be useful. And then we'll just see what's down here. Probably nothing. Yep. Oh, lots of... Oh.
Slow and silent.
This can't be supplies. But I'll take them. Yes, push back the mask. Push it back. I just find that so satisfying. Okay, Stonewall Gorge. Stonewall Gorge. Ew. Oh, you get to be raining. I know this is an area you kind of want to be a little careful in, if I remember correctly. At lower levels, because of things like these. Knock him down if you would. Give him some wounds. Let's do some lessons.
Hey.
Let's get you out of that attack. Okay, she is trying to do a summon spell in Blight. Let me do Thrust of Shadowed Veils. If I can go fast enough. I don't know if I was able to really interrupt it. Nope, I was not. Okay, so she did summon that Blight. Let's continue the attacks going. You have Because that blight's immune to piercing, so we'll have our wizards deal with it.
Can't get a good shot at this.
I think. Where are you going?
Of course.
I think I heard a leveling ding as well.
Can't stand much
Hey,
longer.
they got Sagani.
Oh wow, they got a few different people.
Hey,
Maybe something. Either there was a AoE that I didn't see, or something blew up on death. Well, let's level up Clarence. 5. So that's going to be lower. And then only 3 of them can take a 3. That's going to be stealth. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So 8. Yes! Metaleto's Bounding Missiles, which is basically just a upgraded magic missile. And roll for my second spell. 9. Which is going to be Ashy. Technically it would be... okay, does this random system have memory? Yes, it does, so would technically the 9th one down after I take that one out would be Ringram's Repulsive Visage. Okay. I was hoping for exposed vulnerabilities, but... So we have Bounding Missiles and Repulsive Visage. Okay, Endurance. Mechanics. I think there's only 3 of them that will accept a 3. That would be Athletics. And he gets his level 3 spells. Defense. Lures enemies. Better crits. Crush and knockdown. Prayer against restraint. Restore moderate. Okay.
Hey.
Do a quick save there. Now this area, until you actually finish chapter 2, okay, the lower portion of this map is flooded, so you can't proceed through it. And this is another part, remember? Chewing on a piece of uncooked meat, a small Orlin dressed in tattered leathers offers a mumbled greeting and waves his hand. Despite his pleasant smile, the upper right portion of his face is in a sorry state. An eye patch stitched with a stylized eyeball wraps around his head, and his ear is a mangled remnant that twitches in spasms, while the other ear perks up as you approach. Next to him is a splayed carcass of a deer that appears ripped open by a bear or wolf. You hear a gurgling rebel next to you. Sagi places her hand on her stomach, her eyes are on the carcass, still fresh. Itumak's pink tongue lolls out of his mouth.
If this is your deer, you need a new game warden. Name's Haravius. Hungry? I can't eat all this. First catch of the day, help yourself.
You killed that deer?
One ornery Stelgar. Though looking at the deer's insides, it had a malformed but delicious heart, and would have been dead within the year regardless. Galloway chose a fitting end for this fine animal. Pardon me, I shouldn't pray with my mouth full.
He bows his head to the deer, trying to breathlessly chant, but then stops abruptly. Tell me about Galloway.
Lord of the Hunt, patron of all seekers. I'm the wrong person to ask. As a child, I would worship Galloway in hopes of being a great hunter. But I have since come to know Wal, he who sees and is not seen.
Tell me about Wal.
Wal is the god of mystery and obfuscation. Wal does little to intervene, dictate, or limit our actions. But nor does he make himself easily known. I would say I contemplate Wal more than I follow or serve him.
What brings you here?
Other than the delicious venison, new trees to document, new animals to sketch, new sights to be seen. I've learned as much as I can from the druids of my circle. I'd rather wander and learn than take root and stagnate. So if you're traveling to Deerwood and need another set of hands, I'd welcome the safety of a group.
And just what can you offer in return?
I'm trained by the celebrants of Hawk and Ivy of the Fisher Crane tribe. I know more than my share of nature magic, and, well, I don't shy away from a good fight. I have business with the druids that live near Twin Elms. So long as we find ourselves there eventually, I'm happy to follow along.
You're welcome to join us.
Splendid. It'll be an honor to run with the pack for a change.
Alrighty, Durance,
You walk
fuck
your
off.
path, I'll
Welcome,
walk mine.
Heravius.
Yeah?
Hey,
Because, yeah, if you go down here, you'll see it's flooded. So from here, we are going to go east one screen to Deerford Village. That's where we will find our final party member. I'll be swapping Aloth out for that party member because they're kind of a ranged castery type. And then I'll be leveling Heravius and our final member. Yep. Let's evade that lion. Deerford Village. Gonna make a quick. Okay, 13 hours. Alrighty. Not gonna start that quest just yet. And the time construction projects take also does take into account like times you're resting and traveling. So it actually goes a bit faster than you would think. Where are you? I know you be here. Boom. Highlighted on the map for us. Grieving Mother. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in brown leather cloth draped down to her knees. Leather cloth. Alrighty then. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colorless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long fiber stems with a paring knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small, crude, cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not sure if she even knows you're there. Excuse me? The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no indication she heard you. Study the woman. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman, unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seems more focused on the weaving in her lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice that she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer. She's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from lack of washing. Like many of the townsfolk you've seen, there's a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack color, and a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch, her knitting takes on an odd cadence, and you have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are showing you. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downwards, your hair becomes long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver and wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with the threads, braiding a net in front of you, each finger long and sharp like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, with silver predominating as a highlight, then black shadowing it. And suddenly, you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest, hazy with mist. although whether it is actual mist, or a distance, or recollection. Resting in the curve of a natural arch above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention, as if looking down on you in the event unfolding before you. The plateau has soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different. Not disembodied, but you feel your body. Your physical contours have changed along with your surroundings. And you hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts, like mist rolling softly into a sealed chamber, and the chime coaxes you deeper into the memory, and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You are on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Audra? The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving, not thread but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Bareth's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child. You can feel the crowning of a tiny head, turning in your grip, its head slick, wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing and inhabiting have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges. A stream of fluid from the womb helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's labored breathing crying out. Focus on the child, the movement of your hands. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort. Of that you are certain. Draw the child forth. And coaxed by your hands, every movement causing the chimes to sound again, almost eagerly the child comes forth, and as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You are holding a small child, still wet from the womb before you. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul. The ringing of chimes echoing its thoughts, filling it with its welcomes. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul. But it is there, it is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry, her hands reach out for it. Surrender the child. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as her hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords on your wrists, and where once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first gentle greeting of the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You're helping to weave its thoughts, its perception, the experience. The woman laughs with a ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is here, the child is safe, and all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. Slowly pull back, retreat from the memory. With effort, the scene bleeds of color, and your mind becomes your own again. There is no pole, no anchor, yet the sound of the chime remains. As you existed in the memory, they sound here as well, and they are hanging from the woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of the chimes on her wrists is sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like what you first saw. She is wearing black, shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumpled watchtower. As she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. When you first saw of her, it was a mental glamour of some sort, unconscious, and you realize what you see is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you do not sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad to at last be seen. Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
There is a light touch upon your mind, a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch. Reaching up to the air between you, you hear the chime on her wrist sound softly. Her hand moves as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm. The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
I encountered a Biobic, yes, and it did something to me. Her hands withdraw shyly, the chime sounding softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly, as if she had been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt. Yet while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It is almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her. The image on the plateau, yet the image was so clear, so sharp, you're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift.
Was I helping a woman give birth? I was in your head and hers?
So many questions, thoughts, whirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. You cannot tell if it is carving new channels, or eroding what keeps your true strength buried. The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
There is a silence, and although it seems to last for but a heartbeat, in your thoughts it stretches out between the two of you, like a pole between your minds. You blink, take a breath, and then realize she wants you to ask a question, yet can't find the words, as if assembling them is painful, or there simply are not enough pieces. Assemble the thought, do you wish to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear, gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates, and you feel strength and certainty, as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you, and a calm sky looks down upon you. Alright,
Farewell.
and we are going to take Aeoloth out, add in Grieving Mother.
Hey.
So Grieving Mother is a cipher. She is, ciphers are basically psychic characters. As they attack, they build up focus, which is then used on their cipher abilities, which are the kind of their spells. Okay, Bright Hall of Restoration is complete.
It has long been abandoned.
Gonna start up Main Keep. So now I'm going to level Hirvis and Grieving Mother. And after that, I am likely going to call the stream. Simply because that was a lot of reading. I'm practicing the vocal cords, and as they get stronger, I'll get stronger and be able to go longer, but this is a very text-heavy game. So, some good practice though. Okay, some stealth for you, Heravius. And some mechanics. And some athletics. And some lure. And some stealth. Alrighty, your talents. And druids are great. I freaking love druids in this game. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yep, that's the 9. Oop, that's a roll again. 8. Wind binding. So he can heal his own health. I get that one a lot. Okay. I think I'm starting to learn the biases of my dice here. Okay. Actually, no, I'm gonna... That should have been a D8 I was rolling. Okay. Survival. Mechanics. And those are his level 2 druid spells. Can summon blights. Do a bunch of other stuff. Insect Swarm is great for interrupting folks. Flame Blade is Firebrand is Flame Blade. Okay, that's going to be Athletics. Mechanics. Holy shit, he might be our best mechanic so far. And a talent. Offensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Alright, breaking out the D30. That is a 30. That is a 16. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Primal Bane. 25 damage against primordials, which is like elementals, nature spirits, all that kind of stuff. All the stuff we were fighting, actually. Alrighty. Lore. Survival. And there's only 3 that can take the 3-pointers. So that's going to be Athletics. And then his 3rd level spells. This one's actually a good healing one. Returning Storm is basically called Lightning. Twin Stones is actually very useful at times. And now for Grieving Mother. Lore. Stealth. Survival. And only 2 can take the 1. So mechanics. Okay, so we got 1 power remaining. 3. Soul Shock. Briefly transforms the outer shell of an allied target soul into energy, releasing an electrical burst around them. Characters standing in the area around the target take shock damage. Okay. So this allows me to target a friendly, and it's a foe AoE around them that deals lightning damage. Not bad. Okay. The talent. Class talent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Break out my D20. And that's a 15. And that is a 4. Which is greater focus. The cipher has an increased maximum focus. Plus 10 max focus. Very nice. Okay, athletics. Stealth. And mechanics. Okay, so 2. So mental binding will be the first one. Overwhelms the target's mental ability to communicate with its own body, paralyzing it and causing its soul to emit a shockwave that can leave nearby enemies stuck. So it can paralyze the target and then leave around being stuck. And the nice thing about a lot of cipher abilities is that they are typically smart in their targeting, like they're foe only or friendly only. And then 1, 2, 3. Phantom Foes. Invades the mind of targets in the area of effect, causing them to believe they are surrounded by phantom foes, leaving them flanked for the duration. Again, very useful. They also have some great dominate and charm abilities as well. So, athletics, lore, cocked die, and survival. Okay, 1 more power. Mind Blades. Co-ops the target's essence, generating a slashing blade of force that attacks them before leaping to up to 5 additional targets. And then defensive talent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So break out our D8. And of course I roll an 8, so 7. Grace for retreat. More defense when disengaging. And our final level. That's some mechanics. That should really be a D6 because only 3 of them can take it. That's in athletics. And we have 1, 2, yep, 6. 2. Fractured Volition. Violates an enemy's memories to bring vivid recollection of past failures to the surface, leaving them hobbled and weakened. That just sounds nasty. Then Psychic Echo. I was hoping for Puppet Master. Puppet Master is a domination one. But we got Ectoplasmic Echo. Generates a rebounding wave of psychic feedback between the cipher and an ally that causes crush damage to enemies caught in between. Not bad. Alright, so we're just going to do standard rest. Let's talk to Sagni. Sagani draws up beside you, her fox falling at her heels, and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
Sounds like you've been gone from home a long time.
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Itamok.
What an adventure.
It certainly started out that way. It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
You should go home then.
I can't. Going back without finding Persak would be... Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Ilitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Ilitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persak died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero. Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
What happened to her? I don't think she ever returned. It happens that way sometimes. People often forget what is in front of them. I think of that frequently.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me. But sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me, if they think of me often.
Returning to them is what matters. Both practical and true.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often I find myself wondering whether Persak will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
Yes, in fragments. What's it like? I have been learning a lot about myself.
Good things, I hope. Maybe Persak will be the same way. Would make my job of telling him about the village a lot easier.
What would you tell him about your
Masuk
village?
is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Itimak brushes against her hip as he scratches his head. Recently, there have been a lot of good years. My aunts say we've had fewer clashes with the neighboring villages thanks to the hunting territories that Persak helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and seal pets for grains that last us the hard winters. Persak brokered a lot of those agreements too. She holds up the bear figurine. He got this from one of the Luna ships that used to trade with us. Well, Cirque must be a tight-knit village.
As family.
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feeling the thrill of this chase? Or ready for this to be over? Running around like this keeps me from what matters to me. I've been hoping to settle down. I know what you mean. Might as well keep moving while we've got some daylight. Let's go. Alrighty.
Hey.
I'm going to make a hard save. And I'm actually going to call the stream here. I'm going to stream this next, likely Monday or Tuesday afternoon. And start back up here. Probably going to talk to Durance first. Get some of his stuff out of the way, because you have to talk to him several different times to progress his side quest. I hate it. But I will do it for content. And to yell at him. And then we will head into Defiance Bay and begin Act 2. And see where that leads us. For now, let me see if there's anyone we can raid. Yeah, looks like Surfing Pichu is doing some Pokemon ROM hacks. She loves those. So I'll send you over onto her way. And yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, and if you're not already following, do feel free to give a follow. I will have this uploaded to my YouTube, Ambiguous Influence. I have the link on my Twitch page as well. So I have basically all my stuff is archived over there, so it survives the VODs that Twitch purges. But yeah, happy to have y'all here. Hope to see you again. And yeah. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. Yep. So right now I'm just waiting to make sure that the raid is going to go through. And yeah, Monday or Tuesday we'll be continuing this little adventure of randomly generated level selections. Oh, and we'll get to see Herivas in combat.
Need something?
He actually is one of my favorite characters. Both his character and what he can do in combat.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Alright. Raid should be going in about 10 seconds. 5, 3, and I will see you all later. Great night.